Well guys, sometimes you do 3 or 4 takes of a video like this, and I finally did the take that was just right. And I got to the end, and my microphone was turned off.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
What's up guys, Big Clive 34 coming at you again with a video that I'm actually pretty excited to make for the second time. Today, I saw a car hit the news that I just had to make a video on. It's been a minute since I got this excited about making a video about a car release, but today we're talking about a Corvette that has a warranty and 1,000 horsepower. How much cooler can it possibly get than that? Just really quickly, I wanted to sincerely thank you guys. The channel has been doing so well. All of your likes, subscriptions, and comments have been helping out big time, so I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you, and also to let you know that I did a 24-hour flash sale on Instagram, but then I was like, man, my YouTube people, a lot of them aren't on Instagram or don't have Instagram, so I wanted to afford you the same opportunity to get the best deal I've ever offered on Big Clive 34 merch. Basically what's happening is I need to make some space in my merch room. I have a couple plans in the pipe, so 50% off of everything in the store. This will never happen again unless I need to clear out again. The promo code is Lost My Mind. You can use it at bigclive34.com/store. And anyways, let's dig into what this car is all about. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it, how you get it, what the deal is with it, and then what I think about it. I think it's the most awesome Corvette to ever come out, like with a warranty. But also, I'm gonna tell you about why I would absolutely never buy it, because I think that for me, it would be just kind of silly. We're looking at a Grand Sport that gets sent off to Yenko, the company that came around in the 60s. They were a Chevy dealership at one point in time. I don't think they're a dealership anymore. Now they operate as a company that works with Chevy and Chevy dealerships to take brand new cars and modify them past what the factory spec is. In this situation, we start out with the Corvette Grand Sport, which is widely regarded as the middle ground between the base model Corvette and the Z06. So it's somewhere in here. And then you have the ZR1 as well, all the way off camera over there, because it's too cool to sit here at the lame kids table. It needs to be over there with the jocks and the hot chicks and all that stuff. And then now what basically happens is you take this $65,000, probably a little bit more, because they require you to have the Z07 package, which includes brake, suspension tuning, and tires, and 460 horsepower on tap. And then they take it, and see that's the ZR1 down there. You like Carson Wentz that bitch all the way into the neighbor's house, because it's going beyond the ZR1. This thing is beyond badass for any Corvette that you guys have ever seen that has a warranty with it still. It's going to make 1,000 horsepower. And with that, I can almost guarantee that, you know, with these kind of cars, they end up in the hands of like the people who are kind of more casual enthusiasts, I guess you could say. They're gonna punch the throttle at Cars and Coffee, go sideways and send it into a curb. But that's okay, because, you know, you'll feel awesome while doing it. Oh yeah, and speaking of sending cars into curbs, a little fun fact. One of the first Grand Sports to be wrecked just happened recently. It's gone to Copart with just 15 miles on it. Not 15,000, 15 miles. You gotta feel bad, because that has to be like some sort of record. It's probably in tight competition with that GM executive that wrecked the ZR1 pace car at the IndyCar race by coming around that turn too hot, punching the throttle and sending it into the wall. 15 miles is basically like buying this car, hopping on the highway for less than 15 minutes, I would assume. It's not said yet if it was a person who just bought it, or a demo car, or someone going on a test drive, or what it was, but that sucks. Like, I couldn't even imagine explaining that to my insurance company, who would probably laugh at me and drop me immediately. Anyways, since it's going to Copart, it's up to $20,000 worth of bids, and whoever gets this is going to have a pretty awesome drivetrain to stick in something else. So how does this process work, and what do you get? You order the car. When they get the car, they send it to Yenko. Yenko adds a 2.9 liter supercharger. The engine gets bored and stroked to 6.8 liters. Modified Z06 cylinder heads. So the Grand Sport has an LT1. You get the LT4 cylinder heads that have been upgraded in some way, shape, or form. I didn't really see much information relevant to how they upgrade them, but I assume they're much better cylinder heads if they're replacing them altogether. Forged internals, fuel system, which is very important for making that much power, an exhaust system, and a bigger throttle body. With all of this, I assume you still get the factory warranty, plus a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on that new supercharger, because the cars do come naturally aspirated, and a 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty for the transmission, which I found to be weird because I didn't see anything about them upgrading the transmission. All of this comes to that 1,000 horsepower number and gives you one of the only vehicles in the world to have 1,000 horsepower and a warranty. So unless you're talking about something crazy like a Bugatti or something like that. And if you like head to the comments and say that, then just forget you. Just like leave. Get out of the room. We're talking about Corvettes. Take your Bugatti French bullshit elsewhere, okay? So they take this car from 460 horsepower, more than double the output. I want you, while I spin you into this next fun fact, to leave in the comments below what it would cost to double and then some the horsepower of this Grand Sport, while I tell you a little bit about the history of the Grand Sport. So basically, it started in the second generation of Corvettes. 1963 was the first year for the Grand Sport. A totally badass ride, but I guess it wasn't badass to justify making it in a third generation Corvette because they completely skipped it. It came back in the mullet machine of the C4 America, C4 Grand Sport, and skip C5. So it's like, okay, we're going to be making the Grand Sport and skipping generations, right? Yeah, it skips a generation. C6 Grand Sport comes alive. In my opinion, one of the best cars ever made for boost. And then now we're at the C7 Grand Sport. So GM just can't make up their mind of what they want to do with this thing. Are they going to make it every generation from now on, or how is this going to work? Okay, so back to answer that question. What the hell was that? Like, what is this? Back to answer that question. Can I get a drum roll, please? Okay, so for all of those performance modifications and the extra warranty, what is it going to cost you? Well, if you want a manual version of the car, you're going to add $69,000. Really? The car cost probably $69,000 with the Z07 package on it. You're gonna double the cost on me to do this? Come on, guys. Like, you could buy a whole nother car for that. $78,000 on top if you want an automatic version. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? I understand. No, you know what? No, I don't understand. Well, like, I can't even talk. I don't have to do with my hands. Just, what do I do? What do I do? You tell me what you think, because I am blown away here. There'll be 25 automatics and 25 manuals ever made, and then that's it, kaput. So you will have a 1 of 50, which will make it a pretty rare car, but I don't know if it's gonna be the kind of rare that brings money, because people kind of get this all screwed up. If you've ever been on Craigslist, you know all about this. Just because something is rare, say it with me, just because something is rare does not mean that it's worth a lot of money. In this case, maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. When I saw the fact that it would double the sticker price of this car, I kind of wanted to come out and just bash it right away, because there's no way that what they've added is worth that. You can probably make one of these things make 1,000 horsepower for half of the $70,000 that they want, if that. But then I thought about it deeper, and I'm like, you know, everybody who's buying one of these things, they're not buying it because it makes 1,000 horsepower. That's awesome. Yes, it makes you intrigued. They're not gonna go out and race it, more likely than not. They're probably gonna buy it as a collector's item. And that's what you have to remember. I'm gonna just go out there and say pretty much 100% of these cars are not going to be the best way to go about making that kind of power if that's what you're after. However, you're not being sold the horsepower. You're not even being sold the Corvette in this situation. You're being sold the ability to be a part of an exclusive club and hope that one day it yields a collector's item that's worth some money, or you're just being sold the exclusivity to say, hey, I have one, and if that's worth the $50,000 total, I can't math, $130,000, whatever. If it's worth it to you, then it's worth it to you. But if you want a 1,000 horsepower Corvette, this is not the way to go, because you're just throwing money away. If the warranty really means that much to you, well, you could buy a whole other car, wrap your head around that, a whole other car with the amount that this package costs. If you're looking for a collector's item, something that you can say is all your own, and you just think that it's a badass way to spend your money, then it's for you. But if your goal is to go fast, there are a lot other similar, very similar, because I hate that argument where you build something nice and fast, and so it's like, oh, I could build a Fox body for that price. That's stupid. But you could literally buy another Corvette and make 1,000 horsepower for a lot cheaper. Probably buy a Grand Sport and make 1,000 horsepower for a lot cheaper. That's my thoughts on this. So do I say that it's awful? No. The verdict is that there is a very particular ass for this seat. I am excited to actually see one of these things in person, but that's all I got, guys. So leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think of the Yenko Corvette and my little bit of commentary here. I appreciate it. Hit that like button as well. Subscribe, you know the drill. Hit the bell for notifications, because I have to tell you that now too, apparently. And remember, promo code Lost My Mind at bigclyde34.com/store for 50% off. And that's about it, guys. So thanks for watching. I will catch you next time. Man, I could have worn no pants this whole video and nobody would have noticed, because my waistline is below the camera. Maybe I am wearing no pants. How do you feel about that one?